India on Saturday announced that the G20 nations have come to a consensus on the Delhi Declaration. The Delhi Declaration has focused on several economic issues that are plaguing the global economy at the moment. Let's take a look at some of the announcements made in the declaration. The G20 nations will pursue reform for better, bigger and more effective multilateral development banks, including the World Bank and the International Monetary Fund. This was a key focus area for India and the Global South. The bloc has backed the regulation, supervision and oversight of crypto assets activities and markets, which is a boost to global efforts to curb money laundering and terror financing. The grouping will strive to improve access to digital services and digital public infrastructure for quote-unquote sustainable and inclusive growth. This is closely linked to the G20's endorsement of the Financial Inclusion Action Plan, which provides a roadmap for the financial inclusion of individuals and medium and small businesses, particularly among the vulnerable and underserved groups. The Delhi Declaration talks comprehensively about climate change, climate action, warning that climate investment must rapidly and substantially scale up. The G20 declaration further added that countries will back efforts to triple global renewable energy capacity by 2030 in a bid to tackle climate change. The declaration also announced the launch of the Global Biofuel Alliance, which aims to provide low-cost, sustainable alternatives to fossil fuels. Pitching for greater connectivity in the world, India also announced the launch of the India-Middle East-Europe Economic Corridor at the summit. Amid the lingering effects of the COVID pandemic and the Ukraine war, the G20 leaders warned of significant headwinds and cascading crises impacting the global economy. They also warned that more pain could be on the way. On the growing debt burden, the declaration said that the G20 seeks resilient growth by urgently and effectively addressing debt vulnerabilities in developing countries. The G20 also urged continued discussions on a common framework to reduce the debt burden on countries and joint efforts of all stakeholders to improve debt transparency. WION World is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news updates on the move.